Ollie was excited. He always loved an art exhibit opening. He always enjoyed taking people to the Walters or the other museums where he was a member. You know, he had friends in town or whatever, but the real reason that he was a member was for the art openings. And this was going to be a fun one. Walters doesn't do a lot of modern art, but this one was going to be a modern art exhibit. And there were several pieces on display, but the centerpiece of it was an installation artwork called Seeing Clearly. And what it was, all I came to learn, was simple but interesting. It was a pair of eyeglasses floating in what seems to be empty space. And not just floating eyeglasses, but they seem to talk. And it really, really, really sounds like there's a person behind the eyeglasses talking to you. But there isn't. It's just in the middle of an empty room. I had heard about the exhibit and I knew a little bit about how it was done, with speakers placed in just the right spot and all that sort of thing. But he was still excited to see it. It was a new kind of up-and-coming installation-focused artist. And so we went to the opening night, event. You know, there was wine and cheese and stuff. And then they invited everybody into this darkened room. And then they turned on the lights all dramatically. And there were these glasses floating in space. And people started going up and it would talk to them. And it got all this turn and it was really interesting. And I noticed something in the crowd, though. Most of the people in the crowd were looking at the glasses and watching the people going up to talk to the glasses. But there was some person that was moving all around the crowd. Not a security guard or anything, just I couldn't quite get a good look at them. And then after Ollie, took his turn talking to the glasses, he noticed the person still making their way around the room, not paying attention at all to the art, just seemed to be bumping into people. And that's when he heard what he was beginning to suspect might be happening. Some lady said, "Hey, where's my purse?" And he saw the shadowy figure move to the door. All at once, Ollie knew what was going on. There was a pickpocket in the crowd, probably making their way all across the room, picking every pocket as everyone stared intently at this thing in the center, in the darkened room. Ollie darted over to the head of security, who was there in the room, and said, "Can you close down the exits, all of the exits in the whole building?" And I said, "Yeah, they pretty much are all closed already. They're all closed and locked. Although, yeah, except for the front." He said, "You got to close down the whole building. Now get a guard at every exit, every way to get out of the building. There's a thief in the crowd. They just darted out of the room." The security guard said, "Okay, yeah, I can do that right now." And he called on the radio. He said, "Yeah, this is actually already a high security event. So there already were guards at the entrances. And so I've just had them close the front. So if you're sure there's a thief, they now can't get out of the building. Can you, do you want to try and, I have 3 more guards that I can send to help you. Do you want to try and, handle it for us? And of course we'll pay you." And I said, yeah, I'd like to. I really resent people messing up art openings, and I had my fun with the piece. So yeah, don't let anybody leave. So the security director went over to the curator at the exhibit and kind of explained the situation. And he said, "Oh yeah, no problem. I can do a talk about the piece. Give them some time to go hunting." So Ollie met the 3 other security guards out there in the lobby. I said, "Okay, what's going on?" They already knew Ollie, so that part was easy. I said, "All right, here's the deal. I saw a pickpocket. And as Ollie was starting to hit, he could hear people murmuring inside, saying, "Hey, my wallet, my watch." People realizing that a bunch of people had had stuff stolen from them. So the security guard, the main security chief, rather, was in there calming people down. And Ollie and the other guards started looking. We were looking for the person I saw. Looked like they were about 5'5", a little on the short side, wearing dark clothing. Couldn't make out much else. But there shouldn't be anybody else anywhere else in the museum, right? And the guard said, no, everything else is closed. All the doors are secured with a guard. Yeah, nothing else is open. So all the doors we could shut and lock are shut and locked. And, yeah, that's a lot of them. I said, do you have a map that shows that? And one of the guards said, yeah, I can get one. Hold on. And he ran back to the front entrance where the main security desk is. And got him back to the security desk and pulled out this map and brought it back. Said, see here, you can see here, these are all the doors that we can close and lock. It's a map, so it's like we use it as like a checklist. And there's a laminated map. It showed all the doors of all the floors. I said, all right, and you're sure they're all locked? He said, yeah. We locked them all up before the exhibit tonight. So, and there was 5 rooms that were still, open and couldn't be locked. So they started at the bottom floor. And I said, all right, hold on. I said, let's think here for a second. Looks like we can lock all but one of the staircases. I said, yeah, and they already are, in fact. The only staircase that isn't locked is the central staircase here. All the other staircases are locked already. I said, perfect. So, Jean, you've got good ears, right? And Jean said, yeah, I've got good ears. I want you to post up in the middle of the staircase. And if you hear anybody going up or down, you radio us. Actually, no, text us. No, better radio. It's faster. Jean said, okay. And we're going to turn off the elevators. Bring them all to the main floor and turn them off. So one of the security guards went in and did that. So they knew there wasn't anybody in the elevators. They knew that nobody could go up and down easily. And then they started looking. They checked the first exhibit, which is one of the French, poster art, or not poster art, but paintings. They searched all around, and there weren't much places to hide there. So they were to sweep that area pretty quickly. Next one was the excuse me. It was the sculpture pavilion. And that took a little bit longer to search because there's a lot of little nooks and crannies in there. And they also checked them checking all the doors as they went. They were all still locked. They checked both floors of the sculpture pavilion and down in the lobby area. Nothing. They checked around some more, and then the third one that wasn't lockable was the ancient Egypt and ancient Mesopotamia exhibit. And there was the main door there. There was no doors. You couldn't lock it. The secondary entrance was locked already. So they started fanning out in there and searching. They didn't find anybody. Didn't find anybody. And then all I noticed, I said, what's that little door there? Off to the side of the one showing the exhibit with the sarcophagus is the word I'm trying to say. I said, oh, that's the maintenance door for the sarcophagus exhibit. No, you don't think. All I noticed, the door was slightly ajar. But that should have been locked too. And then the other security guard said, yeah, it is, but that's a lightweight lock. It would be really easy to pick that lock, even if you didn't really know what you were doing. Really, just a screwdriver and a good whack, and that lock would go. It's probably the weakest lock in the building. They looked. And inside there are is it 4? I think it's 4 pieces of sarcophagus, because the Egyptian, that sarcophagus is like layered. There's like one inside of another inside of another. I said, is there any other way out of that exhibit? I said, no. All right. Then I think we know where they are. And Ollie made his way in and said, all right, I'm going to be really careful here. Actually, maybe you should come in too, so you focus on making sure the sarcophagus stays safe. I bet they're hiding inside. I'll focus on nabbing the crook. So they came in, they were trying to be quiet, but they didn't really need to be all that quiet, because if they were right, they wouldn't have anywhere to go. I climbed up inside the one that was closed. And then all at once, the security guard pulled the front down to the side. And inside, indeed, there was a very nervous-looking crook. He tried to dart out. And I let him dart out, actually, because all I wanted to get him out of the exhibit. But once he was out of the exhibit, he thought he was home free, because he didn't see the other security guard who was waiting for him. The security guard stuck his leg out and tripped him. He went flailing forward, smacked his face on the glass of the other sarcophagus exhibit. Whonk! He went down like a thud. I said, "Oh, you okay?" The thief said, "Ow, no, ow, ow. I'm done. You got me. Ow, ow, my head. Oh, I think you need to take me to the hospital. That hurts a lot." So they did. They called the police. The police took him to the hospital. And dealing with criminals in a hospital is something the police already know how to do. And indeed, the thief had on him several purses, several watches. Didn't have the wallets anymore, but had all the cash and credit cards. And they eventually found the wallets sort of scattered around the other parts of the building. After all was said and done, and they had, the police had taken the thief away. The security director and the museum director said, "Ollie, I can't thank you enough. I know you just came here for a nice night, and you saved our bacon again, Ollie. We can't give you any more free lifetime memberships." I said, "Don't worry about it." I was just glad that we got the guy caught. And I don't think, damage any art. I said, "Well, we did actually break the glass on that exhibit, but it's just glass." "Well, Ollie, can I buy you a beer?" Ollie said, "Sure. Brewer's Art's just down the street, right?" I said, "It sure is." And that was the case of Ollie and the talking, floating glasses.